Greetings and welcome, or welcome back as the case may be. Today is Thursday for the posting of this video. It's still Sunday for me, as you can tell by the shirt. So today I thought I'd do something completely different, talk about something unrelated to writing at all, not even going to try to draw it back, but instead related to these videos I keep posting, because as you may have noticed, I've been using for my intro and outros some images that I've taken over the years through a telescope. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that, give you an overview of what they are and what they aren't, and try to explain a little bit about them. And I'll do another of these later on because I intend to cycle through some of the better images I've taken over the years. So that said, let's start with the one I started out using, and that's this one. And this is essentially a shot of the nebula called M16, Messier 16, or the Eagle Nebula. And you can see the eagle there in the center, that dark region. And these have also gotten some Hubble fame. This portion of sky, Hubble called them the Pillars of Creation. And that's essentially what they are. This is a region where stars are forming. That's why all the red is there. That's hydrogen gas that's being energized by the newborn stars. And hydrogen, when it gets energized, glows a nice red color. So that's what's going on here. All these dark lumps and the pillars are created because there's a star holding everything together right there. But there's nearby stars that have already finished becoming, and they're blasting this gas with radiation, with ultraviolet and X-rays and things like that. And it's pushing that material down and away from it, just like the wind does, hence why we call it stellar or solar wind. So that's this image, and if you have any questions, please feel free to put them down into the comment section. But this is Messier 16, also known as the Eagle Nebula, the Pillars of Creation, a few others. Up here to the top left is a portion of it called the Fairy Nebula by some. So it's an interesting region of the sky. So next, the one I'm using currently is this image. And that is our sun. I mentioned on Monday about Etalons and the hydrogen alpha line. Well, this is an image of the sun taken using a telescope designed to look specifically at that hydrogen alpha, or that red line that hydrogen gives off, that red color. So why does it look yellow-orange? Well, that's because of the intensity on the camera and everything. So what are we seeing here? Well, those little plumes out to the side, a lot of people mistakenly think those are flares. Those are not flares. A flare is just going to appear as a very bright spot on the surface of the sun. Those arches and little pieces that stick off to the side are prominences. So that's what those are. And if you look real close, you can see some dark snake-like structures on the face of the sun in a few places. And those are basically prominences that we're looking top down onto. And because they're up off the sun, they're cooler, which our eye brain system interprets as darker. So those are what we call filaments. And then you see this granular texturing to some parts of the sun. And that's essentially what that is. It's called supergranulation. And essentially these are Texas-sized thunderstorms on the sun. They're convection cells. So hot material rises up in the center, it cools off, and it drops back down along the edges. And so it's darker along the edges and brighter in the middle of these things. And so we can see that texturing to the sun. Unfortunately, there are no that I can see sunspots or anything like that on this picture, but you get the idea. So again, if you're interested in this stuff and you want to hear me talk a little bit more about it, please feel free to leave a comment. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, thumbs up. Give me a subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll talk to you later. Have a good day.